Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this 30-minute chair yoga reset. I am joining you in my professional clothes today with the intention of showing you all of these postures and different sessions are intended to help you throughout the day. Little mini resets, you can pick and choose your favorite. Maybe you're teaching students, you can utilize this with them, but hopefully you're able to find some tips and tricks to help you find a little bit of relief throughout the day. My name is Jackie Geiselman. I am a registered yoga teacher as well as a mindfulness coach, and happy to be here with you all today. First and foremost, what I recommend, if you are in a place or a situation where you feel comfortable taking off your shoes, that would be my first recommendation. Go ahead, flip those shoes off and allow for your toes to just feel the ground, the earth, the carpet that's underneath you. And if you're sitting in a chair that has a back on it, do me a favor, don't slump back in your chair, go ahead, sit tall. Feel those seat bones directly underneath your shoulders. And now energetically, feel like a ribbon is pulling the crown of your head, the top of your head, towards the ceiling. Now find a point, maybe on the desk in front of you, maybe it's a key on your keyboard or a pen or pencil, maybe it's a speck on your desk or even on the carpet in front of you. And allow that to be your focus of energy, your main focus to pull you in and allow everything else to go fuzzy. Let your peripheral vision go fuzzy. Or maybe even if you're comfortable, you can let your eyes close. And once you're there, begin to allow your breath to inhale through your nose, fill up your chest, fill up your lungs, and keep it going, even fill up your belly. Allow some softness to come in all the way through your inhales and then soften as you exhale. If you have any mindfulness strategies, any breath strategies you would like to check in with here, feel free to do so. Or what I always like to default to, what I always like to find, is allowing my inhales to fill up to the count of 3, 2, 1. Take one more little sip at the top. And slow, controlled exhales for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that count going. Inhale for 1. Send that inhale down into your fingers and toes for 2. Full deep inhale for 3. And soft, controlled exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that internal count going as you inhale. And now energetically pressing all 4 corners of your feet, your big toe mound, knife edge of your foot, heels. Press it in equally into the floor. Sit it tall. Keep that lift, but drop your shoulders for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your slow, controlled breath going, focusing in, letting it enter like a wave and recede just like the wave does into the ocean. And give yourself a moment here to check in on an intention, a focus for your day, something that is going to bring positivity, motivation, happiness, whatever it might be throughout the day. Give yourself a moment here to find that space. And my recommendation for an intention is a John Adams quote, actually, that there are 2 educations. One should teach us how to make a living, and the other how to live. So letting this little mini yoga practice give you the chance to not only make a living and not only teach how to make a living, but also enjoy that process, enjoy the living component of it. If that intention speaks to you, feel free to pull that in throughout our practice. Or if there's something else calling your attention, calling your focus, go ahead and give ourselves one more big measured inhale here for 1, 2, fill up completely for 3, measured exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and flutter them open or bring a little bit more focus back into your attention. And let's bring that intention, let's bring that focus back into the rest of our bodies. Begin to wake up our spine. On an inhale breath, let your shoulders come up towards your ears. Squeeze your shoulder blades at the backside of your body. And then as you exhale, soften. Keep that going. 2 more big shoulder rolls towards the back. Use your entire arm. Really fill up. And exhale, let it go. Let's take it in an opposite direction. Get your arms involved. Almost wag your arms like you're flapping wings. Opening up through the backside of our body. Now sitting tall, shake it out. Any little movement your body is calling towards. Feel those 4 corners of your feet pressing in, allowing you to sit a little bit taller. Feel that ribbon pulling you tall. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears. And then exhale, drop them down. Release all that tension we're holding in our neck and in our shoulders while staying nice and lifted. Go ahead and bring your hands directly out in front of you and find a clasp of your fingers. Go ahead and clasp them all the way up to the webbing and then release the palms away from each other. Gently begin to energetically pull those arms away from each other while keeping your fingers intertwined. This should feel like a nice sensation, maybe through your neck, maybe through your delts, those tops of our shoulders, your triceps, the backs of our arms. Maybe even down into our lats, those wings that show up on the sides of our body. Only pull to the point of sensation. We're not going for pain at any point here. So give yourself those measured breaths, focusing in here. Give yourself 1 more big breath. Let it go. Go ahead, release that pull. Keep those fingers intertwined. And now press them away from you. So their fingernails are now facing yourself and you're pressing into your palms. You don't have to straighten out completely. Again, only go to the point of sensation. Only go to the point where you feel a little bit of release, especially for those of us who work on computers or cell phones or even driving. This is a really nice release. Maybe now you feel that sensation a little bit more in your biceps. Go ahead, drop those shoulders down. Release any tension you're holding in your jaw. We've got 1 more big breath here. Push it out. Feel that release. Flip those hands back in. Go ahead, find some nice little shakes, finger releases. I like to call these flamingo fingers, dancing with our hands. And now just let your hands come back down to rest on your knees. Inhale that crown nice and tall. Exhale, drop those shoulders. Let's wake up our cervical spine, our neck. Find some little release of tension. On your inhale breath, reach it nice and tall. And then as you exhale, drop that right ear towards the right shoulder. From this point, maybe find a gentle little nod, yes and no. And then permission that if you find a point that has a little bit of tension, a little tingle, maybe something's speaking to you, go ahead and give yourself a pause there. Breathe into wherever you're feeling that. Let that left shoulder feel nice and heavy. We've got 1 more breath here. Use that exhale, let it to soften any point that's still hanging on. On your inhale breath, gently come back through midline, a little shoulder wag if that's calling to you. Inhale, reach tall through the crown of your head. Exhale, drop those shoulders down. Inhale, reach tall. Second side. Exhale, drop that left shoulder towards, or left ear towards left shoulder. And again, find a nice little shake of the head. Finding a point that maybe is speaking to you, maybe needs a little bit more attention. Drop that right shoulder down heavy. Give yourself a couple big breaths in this space, either finding gentle movement or stillness, whatever feels right for your shape, whatever feels right to open up this area of our body. Now on your inhale breath, come back through midline, give yourself a little shoulder roll, reset. On On an inhale breath, we're going to reach our fingertips tall towards the sky, opening up through our heart space. Cactus your arms, let them come out at goalposts. Gaze goes to the ceiling, and let that ribbon feel like it's pulling your sternum tall. Inhale, reach those hands tall. On your exhale, soften through your shoulders. Let your shoulders feel nice and heavy. Inhale, reach up through only your fingers. Let those shoulders stay heavy. And then as you exhale, our right hand is going to come to the outside of our left knee. Your left hand can come to the back of your chair, maybe pressing down into the seat, wherever you feel comfortable and supported. And now let's find a nice little twist. Using your right hand as a prop, pull that sternum up through, creating space in between our vertebrae. And then as you exhale, find a gentle little twist. Ease in through that twist, letting your gaze fall back over your left hand. Shoulder, finding that complete twist. Give yourself 2 more breaths here. Inhale, fill up. Create space in between your vertebrae, in between your ribs. And then now take that space up by deepening into that twist, finding a little bit more depth. Last breath here. Use that exhale. On your next inhale, let those hands come back through neutral. Reach them tall. As you exhale, drop those shoulders, soften. Inhale, reach high through those fingertips only. Exhale, second side. Left hand is going to come to the outside of right knee. Right hand is going to come back behind you, either bracing yourself on your chair or finding your hand pressing into the seat, whatever feels the most supported. And now again, use that left hand as a prop to feel that heart pulling up and through. And then as you exhale, find that nice gentle twist. We got 3 breaths here. So use your inhales. Send those inhales to any point where you're feeling sensation, any point where you're feeling focus. And then as you exhale, soften into that space. 2 more breaths. Inhale, fill up. Create space in between your ribs, in between your vertebrae. Exhale, take that space up. 1 more. Go to your depth. Maybe gaze falls just a millimeter further. And then on your next inhale, come back through midline. Reach those fingertips tall. 1 more little baby back bend. Cactus those arms. Shine that heart tall. Inhale, reach those hands high. And then exhale, hands come back down to the mat. You stay facing forward. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what's going on here. We're going to find a nice little expansion and contraction through our vertebrae. So we've felt a nice lot of shoulder movement. We've worked on our cervical spine, our neck, and now let's find full spinal movement. On your inhale breath, our hands are going to come down to our legs and use them as a grip to really pull our heart up and through. We're creating a nice little contraction through our vertebrae, or in other words, this is chair cow pose. We're opening up through that heart space. Gaze is going tall. And then on an exhale, use your hands, press them into your legs, coil that belly button back in towards your spine, and now gaze falls towards that belly button, pressing away, nice curl through the back of our spine. This is a big spinal expansion. 2 more like this with our big full breaths. Inhale, shine that heart tall, lift that sternum up and through, feeling expansion on the front side of our body. Exhale, press into those legs, coil that gaze down into your navel, press them away, feel that nice expansion on the back side. 1 more, your breath, your movement. Inhale, chair cow pose, gaze goes tall. Exhale, press it away. This posture is called chair cat pose. We're arching our spine just like an angry cat. Gaze falls towards our navel. Next inhale, come back through neutral, engaging both sides of that cat and cow, feeling nice and tall, nice and lifted. Inhale, feel that crown reaching tall. Find that focus, a point of energy, that spot or that key or that speck. Exhale, drop those shoulders. we're going to get into our lower body here a bit. So we've opened up our upper torso, we've opened up our spine, our neck, and this is a great little reset. If you just have time to do that, that just gives yourself a little oomph for the rest of the day, maybe before you send that email or take that phone call or go into that meeting. So now I am going to have everyone tilt over towards the left-hand side. My recommendation is to try and do this practice in a chair that doesn't have a handle, but if you do, just tilt your knees off to the side. The point here is we want our right leg to be totally available to move off of the chair. So we're gonna find support by either gripping the back of the chair or maybe gripping the side of the chair. Wherever you feel nice and supported through your upper torso, you can stay nice and lifted. And we're gonna let that right leg shift back towards the back of our space. What we're going for is tension and sensation through our right hip flexor. So that is the front side of our hip here. So press that leg back until the point where you feel a nice release through that right hip flexor and into that right quad. Toes stay curled under. And now inhale, feel that heart lift nice and tall, keep those shoulders soft. And let your right hip hang, your right knee hang off that chair. Gravity is our friend here. And it feels like a nice release through this right front side of our body. It's something you can do while you're seated. This is a little bit of a safer variation of lunge. It's a chair lunge. We're totally supported by this chair underneath us. We're just getting into the nice deep stretch here. So keep that breath going. We've got 2 more big breaths. My recommendation in all these postures, as you implement them into your own yoga practice, chair yoga practice, that you hold each posture for 3 to 5 breaths. Give yourself the opportunity to release, opportunity to feel the sensation, and then soak it up. 1 more. Inhale, breathe into any space that you still feel sensation, still talking to you, still need a little release, and use that exhale. Let it go. Next inhale, breath gently. Bring it back through midline. Come to neutral in your chair. You can give yourself a little hip wiggle to reset. A lot of blood is now flowing back into that right leg. So it's a lot of sensation. And then keep it going. We're moving on to second side. So again, right leg is totally supported on the chair, tilting if you need to, if you have a handle on your chair. Now find that right hand bracing you behind. It's going to act as a little bit of support here because we're going to let our left foot go heavy. Now go to that point again where you feel sensation through that left hip flexor, through that left quad, and let that knee just hang heavy. It is a lunge. It is a lot of sensation. Find a point of focus, maybe even eyes closed. And now send those inhales to the point where you're feeling sensation. Maybe it's that hip flexor. Maybe it's that outer side of our hip, our IT band running down the sides of our legs. Keep that heart nice and lifted. We're not slumping into this posture. We're staying nice and tall, using your exhales to release. Give yourself at least 2 more breaths here. Breathing in, maybe pressing a little bit more into those toes, getting a little bit more sensation. Shaking is okay. Sensation is good, just avoiding pain. 1 more big breath. Use that exhale, soften through something. Next inhale, breath, gently pull it back through neutral. Come back into the median of your chair. You can give yourself that little hip wag. And now gently press into your legs. Let that crown reach tall towards the sky. Drop your shoulders down. Find your point of focus. And check in with your intention. We've moved our spine in a lot of different directions. We've woken up some nice big muscles in our lower body. Stuff can bubble up here, so give yourself focus here. We've got 1 more active posture before we get into our little bit of release, but allow yourself to focus in here. All right, continuing to wake up our lower body here. We're going to allow our left foot to really press down into the earth, and we're going to activate through our right leg. We're going to lift our right foot up 6 to 8 inches off of the earth. Check in here. Keep that heart nice and lifted, sitting tall. We're not sinking back in order to lift it up. We're staying nice and lifted. Engage that low belly just like we did with that cat pose, pulling it up and in. Stay nice and lifted. If this is a lot of sensation here, this is it. You're in your posture. You're in the pose. It's perfect. You're waking up our big muscles. If you have the energy, if you have the focus and intention to do so, you can begin to kick that right leg out in front of you. Wherever you are, try and smile. Try and hang on for 5, 4, pull your toes back towards your nose. For 3, enjoy it. Soak it up. For 2, it's a lot of energy. 1, go ahead, release the same way you came in. Whew, soak it up. For chair postures, it's still a big wake-up call for some of our big muscles. It's a nice little energy shot. It's almost as good as an afternoon cup of coffee. Give yourself focus here. We're moving into second side. So grow your roots in. Feel those anchors down through those right toes. And now on an inhale breath, let that left leg come up in space. Let it hang there. See how your energy is. Focus in. Can you just hold on here and this is where you are today? Find that focus point. That's perfect. If you have a little bit more energy to give, you'd like to try it out, go ahead and kick through that left foot. Toes pull back towards your nose. Hang on here for 5. Stay nice and lifted through that heart. Don't curl through that spine for 4. Smile for 3. Engage your quads really strong through those legs for 2. 1 more big breath. And exhale, go ahead, release. Oh yeah, lots of energy there. Little hip waggle if you need. Our final posture, we're actually going to find standing. So giving yourself the opportunity, stand up here, wiggle, wobble through those legs. Now, if you have a desk right in front of you, all you need to do is place your hands on the desk. If you're working with a chair, if you are in an open space, you can come behind your chair. And we're going to let our hands just gently graze on the back of the chair. Then we're going to step back until we're barely able to hang on with our fingertips. Any orientation. Make sure your legs are about hip width distance. And we're going to take a big inhale breath. Feel that ribbon pulling our crown nice and tall, nice and elongated through our spine. And as you exhale, we're going to bend forward and let our heart melt down in between our arms. So this is a supported forward fold. Go to the point where you can. It doesn't have to look exactly like I do on the screen. Keep a nice gentle bend in your knees, getting into our hamstrings, getting into our side bodies. This is also a nice shoulder opener. Every inhale, create that space in between your vertebrae, in your lungs, letting it open up your ribs. And then as you exhale, soften through your shoulders, through your lats, those side bodies. Maybe you're feeling this in your hips or low spine. Know you're totally supported here. Now, final little opportunity to fully release. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Let that crown just reach towards the earth. On your next inhale, find a little bit more focus back into those fingertips. Gently press into that desk or into that chair, bringing some life back into our body, and walk it forward into neutral. Just getting a nice little release here. Go ahead, shake your arms out, shake your fingers out. Any other organic movement that your body is calling for, permission to take it here. Find your focus, your point of energy. 1 breath in a standing meditation, letting that blood flow return back into your full body, recognizing how you feel right here and right now. Coming back to our seated position. Make your way back into your chairs, still sitting nice and tall. Reconnect all 4 corners down into the earth. Feel their toes, big toes press in, knife edge of our pinky toes pressing in, heels pressing in equally. Now letting all 4 corners press in with connection. Let those hands reach up overhead. Big deep inhale, fill up, reach them tall. On your exhale, drop your shoulders. 1 final spinal twist. Inhale, reach tall with those fingertips. Exhale, right hand comes to the outside of left knee, left arm drapes behind you. We've been here before. Trust your shape, trust your breath. We've got 5 breaths. Inhale, fill up into those lungs. As you exhale, maybe find a little bit more to the twist. Send your inhale to any point that's still hanging on. Maybe it's even your mind. Exhale, find a little bit more release. 3 more breaths on your own. Find your intention. Enjoying the living part of making a living, being here, giving to the earth. We've got 1 more breath. Fill up, enjoy it. Big final twist, maybe find a millimeter more. And then on your next inhale, fingertips reach out, reach them high towards the sky. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach up with just your fingertips. Exhale, opposite side. Left hand comes to the outside of right knee. Right hand comes back behind your chair. Now let your gaze fall back over that right hand side. Find your breath. Got 4 more breaths on this side. Inhale, fill up with those lungs. Create space in between your vertebrae, in between your lung or ribs. Exhale, soften. Maybe find a little bit more twist. Keep your deep inhales and controlled exhales going. We got 1 more big breath here. Use your exhale, soften into your depth. Next inhale, breath, come back through midline. Reach those fingertips tall. Find a little heart shine, open it up, cactus those arms, gaze goes towards the sky. Inhale, reach those fingertips tall. And as you exhale, hands can come down to heart center. You can press your palms into your chest, or you can find a basket resting down in your lap. Final option, let your hands come to rest on the top of your thighs. Now find that point of focus, that point of energy, that point of intention, and begin to find our breaths. Let those shoulders drop. All the tension in your jaw releases. Let your tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Inhale to the count of 3, 2, 1. Take 1 more little sip in. Controlled exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you feel comfortable, let those eyes fall closed. Keep that focused, controlled inhale, breath going. Really fill up. Now slowly with control, letting your exhales go. 3 more. Big breaths here, full and complete. Focusing in on your intention. What you are focusing on throughout your chair yoga practice. What you need to bring forward into the rest of your day, the rest of your week, perhaps even the rest of your life. With this gentle reminder that there are 2 kinds of education. One to teach us how to make a living, and the other to truly teach us how to live. Let's find 1 more big breath in the seated Shavasana. Inhale, energetically let that crown lift towards the sky. Fill up those lungs completely. Send that inhale all the way down into your fingers and into your toes. Keeping your gaze soft, your eyes closed. Controlled exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping your eyes closed or gaze fuzzy. Bring those palms together at heart center. Let your chin drop towards chest. Recognizing self first and foremost. For giving yourself this energy, this effort, this intention. and this little mini reset throughout the day. On an inhale breath, bring those thumbs together right in between your eyebrows. Lift the chin slightly in a sign of appreciation and awareness of the energy and effort we were able to share today. Please know that the inner teacher and light within me so truly and genuinely recognizes the inner teacher and light within you. And one way to say this is to bow our heads and say, Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining me with this 30-minute little chair yoga practice, little mini reset. Again, each of these postures are intended as a reset on their own or to string them all together in a little mini practice midday to give you the opportunity to check in. And as always, I appreciate spending this time with you. Namaste.